Welcome to Trailblazing Career Tech Minds, the podcast where we explore the journeys, insights, and innovations of Baldwin Prep Academy. Baldwin Preparatory Academy is the first of its kind in secondary education in our region and even the Southeast. Education and industry are integrated at Baldwin Prep with industry partners involved in every step of the way, from curriculum planning to the design of industry-specific environments for education and training. So buckle up and get ready to embark on a journey of discovery, innovation, and inspiration. Welcome to the forefront of career technical education. Welcome to our podcast, Trailblazing Career Tech Minds. I'm your host and career coach, Morel Baxter, and my co-host is
a science teacher here at BPA.
And two of our trailblazers here today. We have two of my faves, Mr. Eubanks, HVAC Instructor, and Mr. Larson, Construction Instructor. That is a mouthful. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. We're doing pretty good. Glad to be here.
Good. We're so happy to have y'all on our podcast. I know every time me and Brittany do this, we're like, well, when we get to the new school, we're podcasting at the new school. So we're finally here. So tell us a little bit about, your first 2 days at Baldwin Prep. What's it been like?
It's a pretty impressive facility, and I really like the way it's set up where, it's a collaborative environment between career tech teachers, and academic teachers, between the students within a program and between programs. I think that will really extend, their learning above and beyond what it would be in a traditional facility.
Yeah, it's been good just being here and the kids seeing the facility and just their eyes lighting up because they're not in a traditional high school. They're here. It's just different. It's a different field, different environment. I think we're going to really do some good things with these kids.
And it was built for them, and I think they're getting that. It was built for them, and they're excited about that fact.
Yeah. Well, I got to spend my whole summer with Mr. Larson and Mr. Eubanks at the Baldwin Girls Build. So that's kind of why I wanted to have you guys come on together because we just do this phenomenal summer camp for our middle school girls. So you are a great speaker about this. Every time they come in with the media for the camp, they grab Mr. Eubanks. So, I
don't know why.
It's because I'm working and he's not.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably so. The girls' camp has just been phenomenal the last 2 summers. We really saw a need in growing females in our industry, and that's one reason we do this camp. And just having these young girls show interest in the trades, because it is a growing industry. There's tons of jobs out there. They can make high wages, and just seeing the importance and the fun that these girls have in building something, constructing something, and just watching them grow the last 2 years has been pretty amazing.
It really has. It's one of my most favorite things that I get to work on because I really just think that we inspire young girls to, first of all, just do anything that they want to do or know that they can do anything they want to do. But you're also letting girls know that they can get into non-traditional careers for women because I don't really know the exact statistic, but I think only 10% of women are in a construction trade. So it's not a lot. We could have a lot more women in fields like this. And I think catching them early and starting that fire within them, like when they're in middle school, to know that they can do it and get them interested in this. It's a great thing. What do you think?
It is. And first off, I'd like to kind of give a shout out to the professional women builder section of the Baldwin County Home Builders and our career coaches for getting it kicked off. They did all the groundwork. Mr. Eubanks and I just show up to work with the girls, and it's a lot of fun. There is a need for women in the trades, and my experience when I've had girls in my class is they're better than the boys at a lot of stuff. They're just have better attention to detail, and they're just really fun and really good to work with. So, there's a lot of good careers for them out there. I've had a couple come through that are really successful out there in industry now. And making a really good living. But, I'm excited about it because, we're getting girls that are returning to the camp. The girls we had this year, most of them said they'd like to come back next summer.
We had quite a few returners this year.
Some that had been there for 2 years already said they were going to age out. And it's like, well, come back and be a volunteer,
Absolutely.
So, it is a really good opportunity for the girls to experience what it's like to, work with their hands a little bit. And it's a good experience for us as instructors.
Well, one thing that I noticed is coming in just to kind of be an extra set of hands on one of those days is the ones that were here last year, they stood out.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even something that had to be said. They just stood out. They were so much more confident, and it was awesome seeing them in the shop and just seeing them also like communicating with those that were first years, like
Right.
what they should and should not be doing. So I thought that was really cool.
They took that leadership role and really wanted to help the new girls out.
I loved the confidence that they had. I thought that was really cool.
They did have it. I think they got mad at me too because I was over the second years and they were like, "Why do you keep leaving us?" I'm like, "Because you got it. You're doing such a great job." And the camp counselors or career coaches with the new girls are staying with them the whole time. But my group was good. My OG group.
They were.
I always have to say the funniest story. It will stick with me until I die about the girls. Last year, told Mr. Larson, they said, "Mr. Larson, why are you teaching so slow?" And he said, "I am used to high school boys." Okay, so the difference between last year and this year, let's talk about it. That was crazy. So last year we had the girls, they built the lamp in 2 days.
Right.
This year, tell us about that. That was funny.
It took 5.
This year we wanted a more challenging project because last year after they built the lamp in 2 days, we were scrambling to come up with another project to keep them busy and, give them something else to go home with. This year, the project was more challenging than we expected, but, doing something like this is a learning process for us, as well. So, over time, we'll kind of refine which projects will be the best for it,
Yeah.
But, it's a learning curve that we're on.
Yeah. That lamp this year was very complicated. It had a lot of glue and it wasn't sticking.
Was that all the little pieces?
Yes.
Yeah, it had like 40 pieces just to make the shade, and then it had a concrete base. And the humidity we have down here was
pouring the concrete. I thought that was cool.
It was really cool. But, nothing in South Alabama dries. It's just so humid, right?
Yes.
Humidity was killing us on curing the glue.
Yeah. So last year we were scrambling, coming up with a second project. We came up with a toolbox. So they left with a lamp and a toolbox and some cutouts and some lasers and things that they did. But this year that lamp was really cool and it was a lot more complicated. So I'm just saying, if you guys hadn't stayed back on the field trip day, which was Thursday, there was no way those girls were going home with their lamps.
No.
So thank y'all so much.
You're right.
So when you guys think about next year, what are you guys thinking about in terms of projects, ideas? What do you want to do different next summer?
Something in between, it's hard to guess how quickly students can build something, we've been doing this for a long time. So what looks easy to me or not that much of a challenge can be very challenging for somebody that's never done it before. And it's just kind of a matter of, getting somebody's shoes. We thought last year the lamp would take longer,
Right.
3 days, 4 days maybe. They were done in 2 days. So I don't know.
Well, just like the lamp this year, we thought it was going to be more challenging a little bit. We didn't realize it was going to be a lot of it more challenging. And so we misjudged that a little bit.
I think we're also modeling for them to, you got to be flexible.
Yeah,
Well, not
sometimes
only that-
things don't go your way.
Well, that was the one big takeaway that I kind of emphasized with the girls this year. Hey, in construction, this happens. This happens a lot more than what you realize. Nothing ever goes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be delays. There's always going to be hiccups. So you're getting real world experience through this little project. So I did put an emphasis on that.
And I'm sure that was a big takeaway too.
Yeah.
Like it's not always, you're not going to follow a set of instructions. You're not always going to make exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good experience.
Right. I mean, we had an end goal in mind. We got to that end goal, but the way we got there was a little different.
I think the project for the second year girls, I think Mr. Eubanks hit the nail on the head with that one because it was, they had a week to do it. They got it done,
Yeah.
I loved that.
It came out to be a really nice project.
It was a mirror, like a boutique style mirror, cosmetic lights, can do their makeup on. They loved making it, and I bet you they're using them right now as we speak.
I'm sure they are.
I want to bring back the mirror. I think it was great.
It was a good project. We got a couple of chairs built. And
We
we
did.
got a whole lot of pieces prepped to finish some chairs.
I'm not sure if I want to bring back the jingle lamp.
No. No.
Yeah.
We're going to come up with something else.
Okay. It's going to be really cool this year because the last 2 years we've had it at South Baldwin. And I think they say that building was built in the 70s?
1972.
Yeah. So a very old facility. We're working with what we got, but now we are blessed enough to be in this new facility with all of these resources. It's going to be absolutely amazing for these girls this summer. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I just think we got to talk Mr. Mowdy into making it 2 weeks.
Yes. The girls want to make it 2 weeks too, but I'm telling you, I don't know if I can physically make it 2 weeks because that camp makes me so tired. And I'm sure y'all too.
The girls' camp was just very rewarding. Me having a daughter that's very close to their age, I'm trying to raise her to be an independent woman and be able to take care of herself, and seeing these girls come in and just have that leadership mentality, wanting to work with their hands and just grow, it's just very rewarding to me because I get to see it from a different aspect, and just very, very enjoyable.
I feel that because I had a daughter in January, and the camp, it really did move me last summer, but this year I had like a whole different perspective on that. Like if you have a daughter, you want that for her.
Absolutely.
So I totally get that. It is just one really great camp. And
Yeah.
I'm glad Mr. Larson pulled me aside the other day. We have plans for future camps, obviously in the summer, but we're thinking about.
Yeah, I was at a workshop this summer with some Harbor Freight Prize winners, and one of them presented a project that they do out in California where they have short workshops after school, periodically for about 2 hours. It's for girls, same thing, to attract girls to the trades. And they'll do some nice little short woodworking projects. At times they have done other stuff, work on welding, simulators, things like that. Just, introducing girls to the trades. And it's pretty flexible. The girls can sign up for one camp. They can sign up for all the camps. And then it's just up to them. And then one Saturday they tackled a bigger project and built like a small garden shed for their horticulture program. So I was thinking it'd be nice to kind of add something in like that to generate interest in our programs and for the Baldwin Girls Build.
And I'd love to help you with that. And
Sign up.
yeah. Can we have teachers sign up too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
more the merrier.
Okay, so Mr. Seeley, we're coming to see you soon about this.
And then, the one they did in California, actually, if the parents, the mothers wanted to participate,
Oh, that's cool.
they could participate too.
I love
So that
that.
was really cool.
I love that.
I think we need more of that.
We do.
Give us a chance to get some parents into the building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we just need approval.
How many girls do y'all have in your programs at this very moment?
I have two.
Two.
Just two.
There's 2 in construction.
Wow.
Yes.
We have got to get more girls in there.
We do.
Yep.
And I used to get more girls. I'm not sure what the change was. There was times I had classes that had more girls than boys.
Yeah.
But, somewhere about 5 years ago, things kind of changed, and I'm not sure what it was.
Well, most of these girls that we're seeing in our summer camp are, 7th, 8th graders. So hopefully when they get the chance to apply here, they'll do it. I think they will. I think a lot of them will, because I think a lot of them really want to do this for their career.
I do too.
Yeah.
How do you guys see us on the core side helping you guys out this school year?
I've been waiting for 14 years. I'm guilty as a clam.
Larson is probably more excited than anybody because literally this is something I know he's taught with some core teachers in the past, and this is something he's really, really, really wanted. And from all of our side, there's math, there's science in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. I've actually joked with some of my previous science instructors. I'm like, I didn't learn much in your class. And he looked at me and said, don't you do HVAC? I said, yeah. He said, you learned a lot in my class because you apply now. And I said, I never really thought about it, but you get chemistry, physics, physical science, all of that's involved in what I do, a big part of it. And so it's going to be really cool to work with the science teachers and math teachers, just get in that collaboration because it's in everything that we do.
And the job sites are collaborative environments. The exciting thing is kids always want to know why they're learning something. Why do I need the Pythagorean theorem? And then I get them in my class and I go, I've heard of it. I didn't know I'd ever use it, But if they're learning it and they're learning why they need it, then they'll probably apply themselves more and get why they need to learn it.
Can y'all, sorry, go ahead.
I can say on the core side that those conversations are taking place. The core teachers are, how can we connect to your pathways? How can we illustrate for the students that there is relevance, there is connections? And this is just a side of education that I wasn't getting at a traditional school. And so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be doing this.
Yeah, but I've been real pleased in the past year when we were just planning, Miss Ames and Miss Turner and some of the other teachers, were constantly contacting me, say, how does this tie into your program, or how can we help? When it came this spring and time to get kids ready for competitions for CTSOs, it's like, hey, can you help me get the kids ready to do this? And they're all in, both feet, ready to help, and I really appreciate that.
I really like what one of the teachers said at the faculty meeting last week when we had our first 2 days of school here, and she really just said, if you're not willing to collaborate here at this school, you won't survive. And I like that because it's the way that the school is set up, it forces you to work with other teachers, and it's just going to be so cool to see y'all actually working together. Now, I know y'all aren't in your actual shops yet, but y'all were working out of the assembly room today. But how is that actually going to look? Is a science teacher going to step in and help you teach a lesson? Is that what it's going to look like?
Some of it, yeah. Yeah, they will. They'll come in and talk about different things. When we're on certain topics, they can step in and probably go in a little more detail than what I can.
Yeah.
Because that's their background.
I love it.
Yeah, I know last year I put some kids in the engineering competition and I had some core teachers, Miss Ames among them, come over and, help them with some of that. I'm not a physics guy and, but that was physics and among other things. And, my kids did really well. We beat engineering students.
Yeah.
Our team's playing 6th, 7th, and 8th out of 21 teams. Those were all engineering teams, so, I love a collaborative environment. Mm-hmm. My formal education is in science, and that's collaborative. When I did research, I was working with, my background's, biology, and we were working with ecologists and chemists at times and geneticists, and, that's the kind of environment I thrive in. So
mm-hmm.
I really am looking forward to this year.
I can't wait to see it. That's going to be cool. So what is it? How are y'all feeling right now? Because I know you said that y'all are trying to figure out, where everybody's going still.
Yeah, so on the core side, we are trying to get our bearings on these collaborative spaces. Today, or in the past few days, have been the first times where a lot of teachers have taught in the same space with one another. And so we're learning each other as much as we're trying to get to know our students. But what I'm noticing across the board is it's a team effort. The students are pulling their part. The teachers are, giving and taking and letting go of some control, and
Yeah.
it's just good stuff.
You can't be bound to a classroom.
You can't, because we are moving to multiple classrooms throughout the day, but everyone's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
It's been a good first few days.
It was so cool to just walk through there and see y'all and see it in action. You have somebody on this side of the room teaching one thing and somebody's on this side of the room teaching another thing. So it's so cool. It's really neat. So, well, is there anything else you'd like to say to your future ninth graders coming up? Now, I know Mr. Eubanks, y'all may not know, but he is a stand-in for Luke Combs.
That's right.
The girls at the Baldwin Girls Build Camp, where first year started off saying, he is Luke Combs, and they called him Luke Combs the whole time. So, second year Baldwin Girls Build Camp, I made him do a lip sync on the last day, and they absolutely loved it.
They did. That was a lot of fun. I want to do that again.
Yeah, it was good.
I know Mr. Larson enjoyed it.
It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. I was crying.
It was great. And you even got a shout out on the first social media video we made.
I did.
Somebody said, I'm ready to hang out with Mr. Eubanks. So I know everybody's excited to be in that class.
They are, and that's what I think all of us teachers are really excited about, just being here. It's something new. It's something different. We're all, like Miss Eames said, trying to get our bearings, figure things out. But at the end of the day, it is exciting when you see the end goal, what the end result's going to be, and just how we get there may look a little different right now. Like what we did this summer, we know what the end goal is and just working to get there. So there's a lot of excitement and a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Stuff's going to have to be getting used to, but hey, I got a great partner here, Mr. Larson.
I know you do.
I mean, he keeps me straight.
He's on top of it.
Some days. But I think, if I was talking to a ninth grader, I'd just tell them, the possibilities are endless in these fields. There's the opportunity to, if they want to continue their formal education, they can go to work and there's good money to be made, A lot of them, after a few years' experience, open their own companies, whether it's an HVAC company or a consulting company or, working as a subcontractor, starting their own subcontracting business. So it's just, the world's their oyster. You can go so many different directions.
Absolutely.
And I think this is the best place for them to learn how to do that. Because to be successful out there, you do have to have some academic skills, and you have to have some business skills, and you have to have your technical skills, and you have to have, your people skills. You have to be able to communicate and work with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better environment for a kid to gain all those skills.
Me either. What are y'all building this year?
Well, what I'd really like to do is build a
House.
Not a complete house, but a fairly large size structure that we could use.
Wire it.
Yes.
We could use for mechanical training. So again, we're collaborating with Mr. Eubanks, and they could put the HVAC in, they could wire it. We could handle plumbing from my end.
We got an idea.
Potentially, you could put cybersecurity in there, and they could do whatever cybersecurity does. We might do some low voltage stuff, but then it would have to be finished too. So interior, exterior finishing.
When I met with Miss Eames before school started and Miss Turner, we were just dreaming big, and so we have this big dream of coming together. Tell them.
Okay, y'all know that bus at North Baldwin?
Yes.
The bus.
It's an old bus.
The old bus.
Oh, yes.
We have a dream of transforming that bus into like a little tiny home.
So you could build it, you could wire it, you could put some air conditioning in it.
Yeah.
Welders could help too. Automotive, obviously. It could even be like a travel bus for cosmetology. Like we could have some chairs in there and they come around and do your hair and nails or something. I don't know. But that's something way off. Obviously
That's our
dreaming
dream.
really big.
I know what it
Yeah.
looks like, but that's our dream.
Like
And
on
so
the go.
There's a bunch of core teachers too that are really excited about it and
Yeah.
are willing to pick up some tools. And we might start. Y'all might have to correct us, but
Yeah.
we want to help. We
Yeah.
want to help. So that could be something in the future we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Well,
we just go on the magical mystery tour?
yeah.
So I just want to go back for a second. Just talking about future students. I was actually in a conversation this morning with 3 young men, and they were asking, when I finish this program in 3 years, what are my options? Like, what can I do? Do I need to continue with school and I said, that's totally up to you. If you want to continue at college, you want to go straight to work. I said, but here's the big thing I'm going to tell you, and it doesn't matter what you do in life. You're going to get out what you put in. If you don't put anything
Absolutely.
into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. So you got to come in here with the work ethic, the drive, the motivation to be successful. And I said, you can go as far as you want to go in these trades. So it was really cool opportunity. And that's what I want to say to all my future students. Come in here willing to work and just have that drive and motivation that's going to take you to be successful. Because with anything in life that's worth having, it takes hard work and dedication. And there's going to be a little bit of sacrifice in there.
100%. And me getting to work with y'all this year, I'm over the moon excited because I've always known y'all. I've never got to work under the same school roof as you. I've always been at a base school. So I have some plans in the works. I just want to offer these kids every opportunity there is to connect
Yes.
with business and industry if it is going to college. So we're going to have college visits and college fairs, obviously, but something I'm about to send out to the faculty is an idea I had of nibbles and networking. I just want the industry people to come and have lunch with our
Absolutely.
kids. Sit down,
Absolutely.
talk to them, get on a personal level with them and remember them when they're ready to graduate and they need a job. Another thing I want to do with you guys and every career tech program is have like roundtables, especially with your seniors, industry people coming in, and let's have roundtables discussions with them. And there's some other things that I want to do that are in the works, but I'm just so excited to get to work with y'all and just really dive deep and dig into this stuff. So it's going to be a good year. I can already tell.
We're excited for it too.
Even though this podcast has been a little crazy, we got interrupted by a fire alarm, no internet, and anything else you can think of. But thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you all.
And I really hope that y'all come back on later once we get into the year and we see what y'all are doing. I'd love to have some of your students.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, I already got some of your students that want to be on here, some seniors.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for today's Trailblazers, Mr. Larson and Mr. Eubanks, and hopefully we'll hear from them again soon. Thank y'all for coming on today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.